We start this morning with the latest on the trade battle between China and the U.S. China today announcing plans to raise tariffs on imported U.S. products to a staggering 125%.
Things are getting interesting. China is also reaching out to other nations in an attempt to form a united front against Washington. For more on this, we're joined by Newsmax foreign correspondent Shelby Wilder reporting live from London this morning. Good morning, Shelby.
Good morning, Charlotte and Mark. It's great to be with you. Well, amid escalating trade tensions, as you mentioned, China is urging other countries to join hands with Beijing in resisting what it calls unilateral bullying by the United States. On Friday, President Xi Jinping met with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and called on the European Union to partner with China in pushing back against U.S. trade tariffs. President Xi said, quote, China and Europe should fulfill their international responsibilities and jointly resist unilateral bullying practices. The Chinese president added that such cooperation would protect not only their own rights and interests, in his word, but also global fairness and justice. And following President Xi's meeting with Sanchez, China officially announced the tariff hike on U.S. goods to 125%. And it's worth noting that earlier this week, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen held a phone call with Chinese Premier Li Qiang, proposing what the EU chief described as a negotiated resolution to the widespread disruption caused by U.S. tariffs. Again, that was from von der Leyen. However, not all nations are embracing Beijing's call for solidarity. On Thursday, Australia publicly rejected China's invitation to join forces on trade retaliation. Australian officials made it clear that they would not be, quote, holding hands with China, instead emphasizing their commitment to diversifying trade partnerships. That's despite President Trump imposing a 10% tariff on Australian goods, but the country remains focused, it said, on pursuing its own economic interests independent of Beijing. So while some countries are reluctant to side with China, Beijing is still reaching out to see who might join its side as the trade tensions between East and West continue to grow. Charla, Mark, back to you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.